On May 24, the World Health Assembly began its annual meeting, again focusing on the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And again, for the fifth straight year, Taiwan has been excluded from participating as an observer despite significant international support. Last year, Taiwan made a good case for its participation due to its successful early efforts to contain the spread of the virus. Taiwan was one of the first countries to have COVID-19 reach its borders after the outbreak in China, and up until May 2021, Taipei had managed to prevent mass community spread throughout its population. Now, the country is facing its worst outbreak over 1 year into the pandemic. The issue of Taiwan's exclusion from international organizations has received greater attention over the last few years due to a general increase in awareness of less than savory actions by Beijing and Taiwan's generally stellar COVID response. Since last year, those two particular issues collided with the WHA's exclusion of Taiwan because Beijing used its political and economic heft to force Taiwan's continued absence. Beijing's political pressure has the potential to backfire as other countries around the globe pay more attention to such actions. Every year, for the last 5 years, observers, analysts, policymakers, and government officials have had the same conversation about why Taiwan should not be excluded from having a seat at the WHA. The general logic, before COVID, was that health and disease know no boundaries, and excluding one country based on its relationship with another was dangerous for the entire world. Then, the COVID-19 pandemic arrived and proved that point, except Taiwan continued to be left out. As long as President Tsai Ing-wen is in office, it is clear that Beijing will exert whatever pressure is required to keep Taiwan excluded from the international arena. That pressure is not limited to the WHA and includes attempting to poach Taiwan's remaining diplomatic allies. Most recently, Beijing has tried to poach Paraguay and Honduras with the lure of Chinese-made COVID-19 vaccines. Given that Taiwan cannot realistically expect this pattern to change in the near future, what is the path forward for its international participation? Can Taipei use Beijing's political pressure to its advantage by expanding its presence in other venues? The failed 2021 campaign. As in past years, Taiwan and its diplomatic allies and partners launched a public relations campaign demonstrating the importance of Taiwan's inclusion at the WHA, with the hope that public pressure would be enough to surmount Beijing's block. Last year, Taiwan launched its #TaiwanCanHelp campaign, in which it shared its COVID-19 containment best practices and donated personal protective equipment (PPE) to countries in need. If Taiwan could help countries facing PPE shortages, then it would be able to help even more countries and people with the large platform that is the WHA.